Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fourth quarter of the school year 2020-2021. Our topic will be preparing and cooking meat. So this is the first module for the fourth quarter. And here are our objectives. First, define meat and their kinds. Identify the different meat cuts. Enumerate the market forms of meat. Value the importance of knowing meat cuts by using it in chosen meat recipe. And lastly, cook meat cuts. Now, let's define meat. So the question is, what is meat? According to meat science, meat is the flesh of animals that humans prepare and consume as food. In the United States and many other countries, the term mainly refers to the muscle tissue of mammals and birds. It's typically consumed as steak, chops, ribs, roast, or in ground form. Now, come to think of the current situation of meat industry. Why there is a sudden increase of meat price. So what do you think is the reason? So please think about that. Okay, at this moment we will be discussing the different types of meat. When we say different types of meat, so those are the categorized by their animal source and how they are prepared. Again, when we say types of meat, those are the categorized by their animal source and how they are prepared. The first category of meat is what we call as the red meat. This comes from mammals and contains more of the iron-rich protein myoglobin in its tissue than white meat. For examples, we have beef from cattle, pork from pigs and hogs, lamb, veal from calves, goat, game such as bison, elk, and venison from deer. So those are the example of red meat. The second category is the white meat. So this is generally lighter in color than red meat and comes from birds and small game. For example, we have chicken, turkey, duck, goose, wild birds such as quail and pheasant. Again, so white meat, this is generally lighter in color than the red meat and comes from birds and small game. Now let's talk about the different kinds of meat and their sources. Okay, the first kind of meat that we have is what we call pork. It's meat from domesticated pigs, typically high in fat, commonly slaughtered 1 year or less of age to ensure the tender cuts. So when we say domesticated, it is the kind of animal that is being raised for human consumption. The second type of meat that we have is what we call beef. It is the meat from cattle over 1 year old. So the price of beef is higher than the price of pork. Next kind of meat is lamb. So meat of domesticated sheep. Usually, when we say lamb, that is a sheep that is typically less than 1 year old. There is a little fat on lamb and the meat can vary in color from a tender pink to a pale red. So as you can see, its texture is a direct result of what it consumes and the age at which it is slaughtered. So lamb less than 3 months of age is what we called as the spring lamb. Alright, the next one is what we call as the Cara beef. It is the meat from Carabao. Next kind of meat that we have is what we call as chevron. That is a meat from deer or goat, or usually It is a meat from a mature goat. Okay, here it is. Next kind of meat is veal, that is a flesh of a young calf, usually 4 to 5 months old. Because of its age, it is considered by some to be the finest meat. Now let's proceed to the different cuts of meat. Okay, when we say cuts of meat, it is divided into different cuts. Like for example, the primal cut, it refers to the wholesale cut. So these cuts result when the whole carcass is cut longitudinally down the center into the right and left sides. Then it is cut further horizontally to separate the fore and hind quarter. So each quarter is cut further into the wholesale or the primal cuts. Okay, so we have a subprimal or the secondary cut. An example of this is the ham or pige separated from the hind or the pata. So the primal cut is further subdivided into secondary cuts. Okay, next meat cut is what we called as the portion cuts. These are the specific parts of the animal cut further into smaller portions. Like for example, the sliced pork chops, the liempo, the spare ribs, and the pata. Those are examples of portion cuts. They are being cut into different pieces. Lastly is what we call as the fancy cut. These are cuts or the special cut which command higher prices than ordinary cuts. Like for example, we have spare ribs with all its meat intact except the skin. Then we also have the tenderloin or what we call lomo, and well-trimmed or uncut but well-trimmed bacon, like for example the belly for lechon kawali, and pork chops with the skin and sometimes with bones removed, or pork loin cut butterfly style. So again, those are the different example of cuts of meat. It is divided into 4, like primal cuts, the primal cuts, the subprimal or the secondary cuts, the portion cuts, and lastly is the fancy cuts. Now let's discuss the different meat cuts. When we say meat cuts, those are the different cuts of meat available in open market and supermarkets. It's either wholesale cut or in retail cuts. So wholesale and retail cuts of beef and pork and the like can be best understood by showing the different presentation here. Okay, let's talk about the pork. So pork is divided into different parts, like for example, the pige, kasim, the liempo, pork chop, pata, ulo, lomo, the spare ribs, we have tongue, heart, and kidneys. We also have liver, intestine, the blood, and panyo-panyo. Okay, so first is the pige. It should be whole. It can be whole, well-trimmed, or boneless, with thin skin, and the fat are being trimmed. So next one is the kasim. It should have a thin skin, can be boneless, more lean meat, and trim fat. When we talk about liempo, it is part of meat which marbled best, and then it has a thin skin, soft, and smooth fat as well. When we say pork chop, can be with or without skin, depending on the preference of the buyer. Next one is pata. It can be whole, or the toes are trimmed, and of course the toes are trimmed and clean. It should be clean. Then the ulo or the head, it can be clean. It should be clean rather, and it can be whole or half. Then lomo, of course, it should be clean, whole, and well trimmed. Then spare ribs with substantial meat attached to the bones. And then tongue, you can buy tongue as a whole. Same with the heart, kidneys, and the other parts as well. Like for example, in liver, it should have a very fine texture, and you can buy liver as whole or in retail. And then intestine, it should be inverted and thoroughly clean. Then blood, so it should be firmly gelled and there's no presence of water. And then the panyo-panyo, it should whole or clean. Ano po? And then, aside from that, as you can see on the presentation, it is divided into different parts. So, when we say side, makukuha natin doon ang pork belly. We also have spare ribs, bacon, and then ground pork. And then, pagdating naman sa shoulder, pwede tayo makakuha ng Boston bat and then ng blade steak. And then, for the loin part, makakakuha tayo ng crown roast or ng spare ribs, different parts ng spare ribs. Tenderloin, we also have pork chops, the counter ribs, the loin roast, Canadian bacon, and of course, the cubes, according to your preference. Ano po, like for example, if you want adobo cut, if you want menudo cut or afritada cut, depending on your preference. And then the back ribs. And then pagdating naman sa leg or ham, meron tayong tinatawag na bone-in ham or the smoked hocks. The hacks, yung hacks lang yung pwede nating mabibili natin. Okay, so those are the different meat cuts of pork. Now let's proceed to the next one. Okay, so as you can see, we have an Angus beef chart here. And then makikita natin yung different percentage na makukuha natin sa part ng baka. Okay? So, pagdating sa chuck, makukuha natin ang meat is about 26%. Then the brisket is 6%. The foreshank is 4%. The short ribs, we have 1.5%. Then the rib is the 8%. Short loin, 8% as well. The sirloin is 9%. The rump, we have 3%. The round, meron tayong makukuhang 21% of meat. And our shank is the 3%, okay? So as you can see, when you cut the chuck of the Angus beef, makakakuha tayo doon ng chuck roast and arm roast. And then for the brisket, of course, the brisket and can be, pag sinabi nating brisket, pwede natin siyang gawing ground beef. And then sa foreshank, same. It can be ground beef as well in the form of ground beef. And then pagdating naman sa short ribs, may makakakuha tayo ng different or pieces of short ribs rather. And then, for the rib part naman, makakakuha tayo ng rolled rib roast, can be standing rib roast, steak, club steak, the T-bone, the porterhouse. Ano po? So those are the different cuts of meat na makukuha natin sa rib and the short loin. And then pagdating sa sirloin naman, dito natin makukuha yung tinatawag nating sirloin. And for the rump, makakakuha tayo ng rump roast. And for the round is of course the round. And for the hind or shank, makakakuha po tayo ng pwedeng pang stew na meat. Okay, so as stated here in the chart as well, meron din tayong tinatawag na variety meat. So yung tinatawag nating variety meats, those are the different parts of meat. It can be internal, or somewhat the parts of meat na hindi talaga pinagtutuunan ng pansin. Pero yung iba, of course, nagkukonsume pa din sila. Okay, like for example, the sweetbreads, the tongue, liver, the oxtails, so kidney and heart. So, tinatawag din nga natin silang variety meats or the specialty cuts of meat. Okay? So, next one. Now, I'll be showing you the meat cuts of sheep and goat. As you can see on the presentation, it is divided into different parts as well. So, meron tayo dito sa kanyang, sa may leg part, may makukuha tayong knuckle. And then, of course, the leg cuts as well. And then, sa part naman na ito, meron tayong short loin and the loin. Then, another po, we also have cap off, the rack, and then the square cut shoulder, and of course, the neck. The other side, meron tayong leg, Ano po, leg part. Then we also have tenderloin, the backstrap, the breast in flap, and the foreshank. So pag sinabi natin foreshank, ito po yung nasa unang paa ng ating animal like goat and sheep. Now let's talk about the different market forms of meat. So the question is, how do you purchase meat in the market? On what forms you usually purchase meat? Can be frozen, it can be fresh, can be chilled or cured or processed. Ano po? So usually, binibili natin sa supermarket is what we call as the fresh meat. Okay, so when we say fresh meat, those are the meat that is recently slaughtered and has not been preserved or has not undergone any processing method. Now, the question is, what are the signs of fresh meat? So, paano nyo malalaman na yung bibilhin ninyong karne ay fresh? So, listen carefully. Here are the signs. So, unang-una, the meat must not be slimy, and if you touch it, the fingers should be dry rather than sticky. The meat should not appear translucent and watery when it's cut. In the case of red meat, it should not fall off easily when it's being cut. So, the texture or the muscles of the meat should be intact and firm. The fat should not be yellow in color, as it indicates that the meat is not fresh. So, kapag nakita nyo na yung part ng fat ay medyo ninilaw-nilaw na, so meaning, the meat is not fresh. So, hindi na siya fresh. It's either matagal na siyang tinitinda doon. Okay. Another one is what we call as the chilled meat. So, those are the meat that is placed in chiller or it can be slightly cold. The other one is what we call as the cured meat. So, those are the meat that undergo the preservation by salting, smoking, or aging. And then lastly is what we call as the processed meat. So meat preserved by chemical processes. So usually, mabibili natin to sa mga nakapak na, nakalagay sa mga container o kaya ay sa mga plastic. Okay? So those are the market forms of meat. Okay. So one of the issues that currently circulating in the Philippines is the ASF. Ano po? So, what is ASF? Paano ba nakakaapekto ang ASF sa pagtaas ng presyo ng karne? So, ASF class, that is an African swine fever. So, ASF or African swine fever as one of the most severe viral diseases of pigs. Kaya naman, kapag tinamaan ng ASF, totally tinatanggal talaga or pinapatay lahat ng baboy doon sa province or doon sa area na tinatamaan ng ASF. Okay, so far, there is no cure or vaccine currently exist for this virus. Kaya ang isang magagawa lang nila to hinder the circulation of the virus is to kill the animals. Okay, so ASF is recognized by the Global Veterinary Society as one of the major threats to pig production, food security, and biodiversity in the world. So, napakatagal. Ano po? So, what are the signs or the clinical signs na meron ng ASF ang ating alagang baboy? For example, makikita natin, meron siyang high fever na nagre-range ng 40 to 42 degrees Celsius. There is a loss of appetite, depression, lethargic, so sometimes refusal to stand or move. Kung kayo nag-aalaga ng baboy, titingnan natin yon. Very unsteady when stood up. Tumayo man siya, then after a minute, natutumba na din. Vomiting or diarrhea with bloody discharge. So that is also a sign na merong ASF ang ating baboy. White skin pigs. Like for example, there is an extremities ano po, in nose, ears, tail, and lower legs. So they become cyanotic or the blue-purple color. There's a presence of blue-purple color. And then the group will huddle together and usually they are shivering. And po, there is also a presence of abnormal breathing. Then there is a heavy discharge from eyes and or nose. And sometimes makikita natin na kapag talagang severe na ang presence ng ASF, dumarating na sa punto na nagko-comatose, comatose state and death within a few days. And that some pigs can show conjunctivitis with reddening of the conjunctival mucosa and there is an ocular discharges. So those are the different signs na makikita natin na meron na nga pong ASF ang ating baboy. Okay? Okay, so the disease can spread through direct or indirect contact and causes high mortality. So napakalaking dagok sa ating mga swine production kapag tinamaan ng ASF. So the virus can persist for a long time in the environment, can be in carcasses and in a variety of swine products. Now, hanggang kailan ba nagtatagal ang virus na ASF sa ating mga baboy? So the virus is infectious for 11 days in feces. So sa mga manure ng ating mga baboy, nagtatagal ang ASF for 11 days, months in bone marrow, 15 weeks in chilled meat, 15 weeks in frozen meat, and 3 to 6 months in cured hams that have not reached high temperature cooking. So as you can see here, medyo matagal na bago mawala yung ating ASF. So ngayon, paano ba nagkakaroon? Ano ba ang cause ng ASF? So African swine fever is caused by the Asparviridae family of viruses which are distinct from the viruses associated with the classical swine fever. There are 22 known types of the ASF virus, allowing the epidemiological tracing of outbreaks to the source. So, the infection class can be introduced to uninfected herds in a number of ways. So like for example, meron tayong babuyan and then dun sa isang section lang ng ating babuyan merong may na-target na ASF and then suddenly unti-unting kumakalat ang virus. So ito yung mga paraan na kung bakit nag-i-spread ang ating ang virus or ang ASF sa ating mga alagang baboy. Like for example, the feeding of contaminated feed and the contaminated food waste used to supplement feed through the bites of soft-bodied ticks, lice, and flies. Like halimbawa, dito sa isang baboy ay may kumagat na lamok and then dumapo naman siya dun sa kabila and then meron ulit na infect. So, on that note, ay kumakalat yung ating virus. And then, through inoculation with contaminated syringe and the use of contaminated surgical equipment. So, halimbawa ay naglinis tayo ng katawan ng baboy and then or may itinurok tayo doon, then hindi tayo nagpalit ng ating syringe, maaring isa yun sa maging dahilan kung bakit mas mabilis yung pagkalat ng mga virus. And then, through the introduction of infected pigs to the herd. So, hindi natin alam, yun palang bagong bili nating baboy ay infected na. So, through that, mahahawaan din yung ating yung mga baboy na naandun sa ating kulungan. Okay. So, ano naman ang prevention? There is no live or attenuated vaccine for the prevention of ASF. Therefore, control of the virus is reliant on the strict biosecurity. So sabi nga natin kanina, wala pang vaccine to kill the virus for the ASF. So kailangan ay ang gagawin natin is more on prevention. So here are the things that you need to understand to prevent the spread of ASF. So do not feed domestic pigs food waste. Another, do not leave food waste exposed for wild swine species to access. Dispose of food waste properly. So, dapat meron tayong sadyang tapunan ng mga food waste ng ating mga alaga. And then, abide by strict biosecurity rules. Do not take pig meat onto farms or restrict all food to a canteen. And staff on farms should be inducted onto a strict program of hand and equipment sanitation before and after contact with pigs. So sabi nga natin, it can be direct or indirect contact, kaya kumakalat yung virus. And then follow rules and regulation on disposal of food waste at ferryports and airports like that. And then another one is check the infected regions before import of goods that should potentially be contaminated. So, kailangan monitor natin kung saang lugar ba yung naapektuhan ng ASF. Ano po? So, napakalaking challenge pagdating sa swine production kapag nagkaroon ng ASF. So, sabi ko nga kanina, usually kapag nagkaroon ng ASF ay idinidispose lahat ng alagang baboy. And for several months, hindi muna sila mag-aalaga and hindi rin muna sila mag-export and then mag-import ng karne doon sa lugar na iyon para maiwasan yung pagdami pa or pag-spread pa ng virus. So, that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something today.